So first of all, this video would not be possible without my friend Malik, who actually suggested the video and gave me a link to where I can find this information. So I want to go ahead and give you a credit. Malik, make sure you follow him on Twitter. The link is in the description below. But this literally blew my mind because for many years, I would say even decades at this point, I thought that this picture right here, I thought that was Super Saiyan 5 Goku. And it's weird that I'm finding out so late that probably a lot of people already knew this, but this is not Super Saiyan 5 Goku. This is a fan art for a magazine that was back in the 90s. And when I was younger, this was the default Goku Super Saiyan 5 version. Everybody always used to call it that. Me and my friends used to call it Super Saiyan 5 Goku. We weren't exactly sure where it was from. We just knew that the picture was online. It was either fan art or from a video game. That's what we thought of back in the day, back in Budokai Tenkaichi days. But it's so refreshing to get all the information here and have a full interview on this website. This is a website that I've showcased before, the Dragonball.com. They did an interview with the creator of Dragon Ball AF. That's right, the creator of Dragon Ball AF. This guy's name is David Montiel, and he submitted this into a magazine, this picture with the moniker Dragon Ball AF. Now, I'm going to jump right into the interview with my most favorite part, and that is, what the fuck does AF stand for? Let's go ahead and jump right in. HC, which is the guy that's interviewing him, asks, as the creator of the AF brand, what better question than to ask you about the meaning of these acronyms? Does AF mean after future or something else? What's more, did your illustration represent a supposed Super Saiyan 5 or does it go further beyond? And the creator responds, the acronym AF means alternate future. The story unfolds in the alternate future of Trunks, where Goku dies from a heart virus and the rest of the protagonists are annihilated by artificial humans 17 and 18. Regarding the second question, no matter how hard it is for the fans to believe, still to this day, the character in my illustration is neither Goku nor the supposed Super Saiyan 5 transformation. He is Tablos, a Saiyan who has a close relationship with Goku. His transformation is called Spirit Killer, and you'll see it in action in the next few issues of the manga I am working on. Now, this is actually something that exists, this manga. I've actually covered it on the channel, although this particular transformation I did not see in the manga or the chapter that I covered, but yeah, this is a manga that's ongoing, and as you guys can see it yourselves here, he says that this does not mean Super Saiyan 5. It's actually a brand new transformation that he created back in the day called Spirit Killer. So this transformation has nothing to do with Super Saiyan 5, but this begs the question a lot of us are asking ourselves, didn't Toyotaro create Dragon Ball AF? That's what I thought for many years, but it seems that Toyotaro was inspired by this art, which probably a lot of us were back in the day, and so Toyotaro created his own Dragon Ball AF manga because this guy, David, he did not create a manga at that time. So the HC actually asked him that question. How does it make you feel when you see Toyotaro draw the official Dragon Ball Super manga, considering that he rose to fame for a fan manga inspired by your creation? David, in a few words, it's something you have to live in Japan to do. Toyotaro took advantage of the opportunity, the circumstances, and so on. The Dragon Ball Super manga he is making is very well drawn, however I think the story is uninteresting and the personality and charisma of the characters is a far cry from what we had during the Dragon Ball Z arcs. Okay, I'm just gonna throw it out there because I'm a realist. David is throwing mad shade on Toyotaro. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, he probably is a little bit salty that because Toyotaro's in Japan, he saw the picture and decided to make his own manga creating Super Saiyan 5. Creating Super Saiyan 5 from that artwork. So as you guys can see, everything is inspired by something, and it looks like Toyotaro was inspired by David, which is really surreal, honestly. But I'm not going to throw too much shit on Toyotaro. I don't mind the Dragon Ball Super manga. I think it's getting interesting, the brand new part that we're on. And the Dragon Ball AF manga has a lot of brand new transformations and characters that are really interesting and a lot of fun to watch and read. So I can't just be like, yeah, Toyotaro's in the wrong here and he didn't really add anything to the Dragon Ball fan manga community. No, that's not the case at all. I think that he was inspired by David's work, but David is not in Japan. He's not Japanese. So I'm assuming that may prohibit him from, at some level, entering into making the Dragon Ball Super manga, I guess. So yeah, he's a little salty on that one. And here we continue with a little bit more of the shade. Would you like these now famous comic book authors like Toyotaro and young Jijii, who have used your Dragon Ball AF idea, to recognize you at some point? Do you think they owe you? David responds, yes, of course. As the creator of the original design and concept of AF, these artists should mention me in the credits of their related works at least. And I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're just gonna take the credit from it. I highly doubt anybody really knows David really exists besides those who read his fan manga, who has basically just started its run. So I don't think that is something that's gonna happen, but I do think that Toyotaro and young Jijii should at least credit him somewhat for the Dragon Ball AF idea, but I don't think they're going to. So here we go into an in-depth look of what David thinks of Toyotaro's Dragon Ball Super manga. As I said before, the new Dragon Ball Super manga from Toyotaro has high quality drawings without doubt, but regarding the anime, for me, the first 35 episodes would have been removed entirely, or could have been removed entirely, since they didn't improve anything and lacked new content. The Goku Black arc was an attempt to straighten the series out, but many things still failed, which, by the way, reminds me too much of the AF manga by Toyotaro. Finally, the Tournament of Power arc improves on a lot, but it doesn't unfold as if we were playing the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi or Xenoverse video games. Is a decent story and hook too much to ask for from these Dragon Ball Super scriptwriters? So regarding David's very candid reply, I gotta say, the first 35 episodes or so of Dragon Ball Super, I could not stand. I actually stopped watching after episode 5 and didn't resume watching until the Universe 6 tournament started. I thought that this was all just rehashed material. That's how I ended up not watching the Copy Vegeta episodes, because of the fact that those were in that block. Again, I only started watching the Universe 6 tournament, and even the Universe 6 tournament has its faults, and it really doesn't have anything that changes at the end of it. Very similar to a Tournament of Power. And I loved the Goku Black arc. I felt like that was the first time that I felt Dragon Ball Super was like Dragon Ball Z. The perfect combination of mystery and different characters, recurring characters, and nostalgia all wrapped into one, although I felt like the very ending was completely and unnecessarily messy. And as the Tournament of Power goes, a lot of it was fun, a lot of it was amazing. The highlight, the high moment of Super was when Goku turned Ultra Instinct Omen for the first time for me. But the problem with the Tournament of Power is that nothing changes at the end. Nothing. There is no consequences to anyone's actions at all at the very end. Everything goes back to normal, and that was the biggest issue I had with Dragon Ball Super. That literally killed it for me at the end of this Tournament of Power. That killed it when Super finally ended, because I wasn't excited to even talk about Super anymore. I wasn't excited to talk about Super. I was looking at Dragon Ball Heroes, and that's kind of how I fell into Dragon Ball fan mangas, which in my opinion do a lot better job than Dragon Ball Super did. Dragon Ball Multiverse does a better job at telling a tournament story than Super did. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. He says, in my modest opinion, I would have taken the series out of a vicious circle of greater and greater power levels, growing larger each time. I would have created new characters that have credible evolution, adding a touch of adventure, a consistent plot with more mystery and villains that would really scare people. I say this with all due respect to the fans of Xeno, but it seems as if his design was taken from Pokemon and he isn't imposing at all. I fucking hate Xeno. I've hated him since I first saw him. I hate him to this day. I do not like that character. I think having a character that controls everything, that is the tether of everything, and he's a child, and he doesn't do anything else besides be a child, and that's it. I don't find him scary at all. I don't find him imposing. I don't like Xeno. Now I want to close this out with some words of encouragement from David. I've been a reader of Hobby Gonzalez since issue 1 in 1991 and a big fan of Dragon Ball since 1990. I know the virtues of the series, its shortcomings, and the things the fans want to see, and also the things that they do not want to see even remotely. I mean, Frieza becomes friends with Goku, please. I simply want to say thanks for the support to all those who trust in this project and remind you that without you, none of this would be possible. Greetings to all and thanks again. And of course, he's referring to his project, Dragonball. I want to say that this interview was extremely enlightening, and I want to thank David Padula and Malik for having this interview on his website, and Malik for suggesting this, because honestly, this is such an eye-opener for anybody trying to jump into the Dragon Ball fan manga scene. There's a lot of us that are trying to create our own original characters, our own original stories, our own fan mangas, our own fan animations. There's so many of us at this point, so many creators, so many talented people, and I gotta say, if you get an idea from somebody, I would say just credit them. Credit, credit, credit. That is the pinnacle of what it is to be a creator in any fandom, especially the Dragon Ball fandom. And do I condemn Toyotaro and young Jijii? A little bit, I do, because they should credit this guy. They should credit David and give him some much needed shine, because I mean, look at them. They're now continuing in Dragon Ball AF, making brand new Dragon Ball fan mangas, and doing Dragon Ball Super's manga. And if the cards line up for Toyotaro, he may be actually the one running Dragon Ball Super if anything happens to Akira Toriyama. And I think that they should 100% give David some credit. Besides that, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. You guys can find this interview in the description below. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Sanctuary, my sanctuary.